Rightio, tubers, welcome back. Friday morning live feed. I thought I'd have a bit of a chat and catch up while I had some spare time. Like all of my live feeds, if you would like to ask any questions later, feel free to, if you're rewatching them later, just ask a question. I try and reply to everything, so you can like interact with me as if I was actually live, and you know, maybe it takes a little bit longer to answer the question, but feel free. So, what is everybody up to today? We've got Jeffrey's already in the room. He's first. He's all over it. Welcome, buddy. How's things? Mike, what's the future like, mate? The future's looking pretty damn bright. The sun come out. Black hole hasn't visited this Australia yet, so we're golden. Wow, Canada looks pretty clean. Yeah, I've been doing a lot of cleanup because I'm trying to do some new things. So, I bought a microscope thing. Anyways, yeah, I bought a microscope with a camera on, with a HDMI camera on top and stuff, so I can do some repairs. And I bought a Hacko, where is it? There, a Hacko soldering iron. So got a little bit more quality, I hope. Just trying to learn some new things, do things better, I guess you'd say, quicker, and the older eyes aren't really up to actually seeing some of the smaller stuff. I'll actually do a review on that, the, what do you call it, microscope. I was hoping to actually open some cells up and maybe even try and heat some cells up, or put, because I'm not really using the Opus at the moment, just put a couple of cells in there, cycle them every day for 3 or 4 months, see if I can go flat to full relentlessly, and then cut them open, put them under the microscope and see if we can actually see those dendrites or anything else. I have absolutely no idea how that video is going to work, but I figured it might be something worth doing. So, radio view and watch page. I've got to actually share this to Facebook. There goes the door. What are we doing? Radio view and watch page. I've got to actually share this to Facebook. The live thing doesn't work. I don't know how to do it. It doesn't matter. Oh well. Guess Facebook doesn't get a live a link saying I'm live. What else have we got? Who's in the room? Have we got any newbies here? I see lots of regulars. What are we going to do? Going to pause that. Oh, now I just lost me chat. What do we got? I just broke it. I think I just broke it. Live control room. What's live control room? That's pretty useless because I don't want to start a new live feed. Go away. Go back. Where's me chat? There's me chat. Rightio, I'm back at you again. Pretty clean. Good morning. Aaron E. Good morning. Up. Kenmar. What else we got? D-Tech. Good morning, Pete. Quick calc, 160k electricity in the next 5 minutes in Adelaide. Quick calculator, 160k electricity in the next 5 minutes in Adelaide. What the hell are you talking about, dude? I don't maths. I certainly don't maths live. Mark Andrews, hi all. Calm, good, everything good. Everything's friggin' wonderful. Talking up the microscope, looks like Lewis Rosman. Lewis Rosman is the sole reason I bought the microscope. I figured I've got enough. I've probably got 40 PlayStation 4s. I don't know, 20 PlayStation 3s. Heaps of Xbox Ones, Xbox One X's and stuff like that with all broken motherboards or whatever. And plus I've got a whole heap of old Macs that, you know, have had problems over the years that one I never knew how to fix or couldn't do. So I'm going to give that a crack. I don't think I'm going to be very good at it, but yeah, well, it's worth a go. But that microscope is the single cheapest one I could buy. And by the time you hit a focal point and the light ring around the bottom is sort of done, I've sort of got this much working space underneath it, so I don't actually think it's going to work too well, but it's certainly going to be fun learning. So based though Nemo, SA based. Oh, is that the power? Roughly translated, Peter's going blind. No, that's not even, that doesn't even have to be roughly translated. That's exactly what's happening. I don't know what it is. I did blame it on the soldering fumes and stuff like that at one stage, but my old man said about 40, his eyes started to really go south, and mine certainly have. I mean, I can read the text on the screen over there, but it's concentrating on the small font and focusing quickly. It takes me a long time to focus. So, D-Tech, I'm lucky to catch you, Pete. Just put Friday rubbish out. Yes, ours was yesterday. I think Facebook disabled live feeds after that NZ gun nut. I don't think they disabled did they? I don't know. I often think about doing multiple live streams after multiple people, but and multiple platforms, but I don't think my poor internet could handle it. Daniel from Mount Flora, Florida, is it? USA, welcome. Big smile. Hey, from Southwest Texas, welcome. Daniel. No, that's Big Smile. D-Tech. Now, just letting you know, we have National Energy Market telling me that we're in Adelaide. That's crazy amount of money for electricity, isn't it? We will use 160 for electricity. Someone's making some money and it's not me. Kevin, good morning from Germany. Welcome, Kevin. Oops, drop them feed. I've caught up already. That's awesome. So what's everyone up to? I'm just kicking back trying to, kill some time. Wifey's at the gym again at 7:50 in the morning. I've got nothing else to do. It's school holidays. When I get school holidays, I get no work. I've got a heap of editing to do though. Well, wait a minute. I haven't done this today yet. I've got to do my obligatory live cross to my battery control panel. Transition, look at that. There we go. This is like the weather update, Pete's power situation. I'm actually doing a balance on my batteries at the moment. Well, I've been doing a balance for the last week. So I'm charging my batteries through the day. I'm actually turning my batteries off every day for the last 5 or 6 days during the day, just so I can pump the batteries up. And as soon as I started this test, like I'm trying to do a live feed, like not a live feed, a video of maintenance on my batteries after a couple of years, 2.5 years or whatever it is. And as soon as I started doing it and trying to charge the batteries up and all that, clouds come over and the batteries are hardly charging during the day. So I'm starting the review on the IDST from Banggood, ISDT T8. And I'm sitting here talking to a camera, showing you things like this, and you can't see it because I've got my other screen still up. So yeah, I'm starting the review on that T8. This particular unit actually come really well packed, which is kind of surprising from Banggood. I'm beginning to just expect Banggood shit to turn up and just be destroyed. Microscope. Oh my god, don't even get me started on that. But I actually opened it up the other day, and it's a T8 input max 12 to 40 volts. Input current 35 amps, output current 30 amps, maximum output power 1000 watts. Very substantial, and it's not a little unit. It's actually quite a little bit larger than the X6. And this is the X6 that doesn't work. Someone was going to pick this one up. I was going to give this one home. That's the X6 that doesn't work. The X6 that does work is out being loaned out, as well as the community spot welder. And it's a fairly hefty unit. But if you look inside the box, this is what I got, right? A bit of paper to wrap, plastic to wrap it up in, some stickers, that, and nothing else. No cables, no balance leads, no instructions, no CD-ROM. Well, there's instructions, but it says revolution starts here. It's one small page telling you, and it's English and Chinese or Japanese or something on the other side. One small page telling you how to set it up, and that's, well, it's not even set it up, it's what the ports are. And nothing else, which I was quite disappointed about, because I didn't have, because I lent out my X6, I didn't have any cables to actually run it, so that stopped me pretty quick. But I'm still impressed by just the weight and the packing of the unit. It is almost like an iPhone when you get it. It's very well finished, but we have to get some tests done with it to see how much it'll take, how much abuse CP can kill it, like it did with the X6. Don't short to ground. R&E, I'm finishing up work. Station, yeah, you don't need to route with a feed through as service, you get multiple platforms. Oh, okay, there you go. I think that's what a few others do, but I honestly haven't looked into it. I won't be doing as many live feeds. You know, I'm just going to do them when I could be stuffed, I guess you'd say, as Pete would say. Live feed. There we go. Can anybody share this on Facebook, on the DIY Powerwalls group? Maybe it might help get a few more viewers in, get some more questions, get some new blood. Kevin got my battery on Monday morning after only 6 days. Whereabouts do you live, Kevin? That's a pretty good turnaround. But I think they actually now, they've changed things a little bit. I think they've actually got everything set up so it just goes, it's already packed and ready to go. DTEC, more batteries in the mix for the Powerwall. I've got a few more batteries down there. I'm doing some videos in the background, mainly the 50,000 subscriber video I'm trying to work on at the moment. I don't know how good it's going to be because I'm not putting a great deal of effort into it yet, but I've still got another 2 months before that kicks around, so we'll see how that goes. You'd think with more free time the kids would break more stuff. They kind of do, yes, Station. The kicker is parents don't want to spend any money, or they get the shits with the kids and say, I'm not fixing your device, blah, 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 and they make them go outside and play. Or they go to the zoo or whatever else. Like I've said a few times before, I've done this computer repairs for self-employed for 18 years now. What was that noise? Oh. I wonder if that was even on. It must have been on. Oh, battery's flat. Oh no, there it is. Battery, no, it's gonna, no, battery's flat. What was I saying? Yeah, it's school holidays. It just, business just drops. It just disappears, vanishes. But usually the Monday after the school holidays finish, then I get smashed. Or I get heaps of console repairs during school holidays, but I haven't got any this time for some reason. Maybe it's because of Easter, everyone's hopped up on sugar. Well, they will be in a few days' time. Neil from Sarasota, Florida. Welcome, mate. Hidden Valley Homestead. Actually, that sounds like a really nice place to live. Good afternoon on a Thursday from California. Welcome, sir. The Tiki. Can anybody recommend a 14S lithium-ion cell, logger, or balancer? Yes, it's Batrium. I have to say that. It's my favorite battery management system. Kevin, I'm actually building a 5 kilowatt battery. That is pretty cool. What are you building it from? Recycled cells, laptop batteries, drill batteries? Lee Amos, did you stop riding your pit bike? Yeah. I sound like I complain about money all the time, but it was just money. I just don't have enough. Well, I didn't want to spend any money on a rear tyre. So it's still there. It still runs. I still get it out and start it once every fortnight or once a month. And to be honest, I guess the rough plan will be that I get some fitness back about me again, which I'm thoroughly enjoying still, getting out on the mountain bike and having some fun. Losing this double chin is going to be a challenge, but we'll see what we can do. The moves have got to go. But once I actually get some fitness about me again, I'm going to start riding my pit bike again and actually probably start competing again and doing some races and stuff, because I thoroughly enjoyed the pit bike. I might even go dirt with pit bike rather than motard. Who knows? Might do both. I've got the setups for both. I haven't done mud for many years, probably 5 years, 6 years, probably since I bought this house, because the last house I was in had a we were on 3 acres, so we could rip around every afternoon, and we did. Mum and Dad used to cycle our toys unbeknown to us kids. What do you mean by cycle your toys? Hide some of them and give you new ones. They would clean up the toys, and some of the toys would magically disappear. Okay. New Samsung? Whoa. Yeah, but the good thing about new cells is you've got consistency out of the box. 1,350 pounds. I think that's double in Australian dollars. So maybe 336. Wait a minute, I'm going to maths here in my head. 7, so 2,700-ish dollars Australian. That's a good chunk of change for 5 kilowatts. Plus you got to build them, I guess. Are you using a grid tie inverter? Yes, I absolutely am. I have 6,000 watts of panels on my grid tied setup with a TL5000 inverter that runs the grid side of things. And that's during the day. That's sort of the a lot of the energy that we're using here. It's probably not producing much at the moment. Where's my TeamViewer? My TeamViewer subscription run out, so I have to use the free one. I had the genuine one for many years, the paid version, but it just wasn't worth it. Where is it? Can I log on to that and have a look? One thing I did notice with TeamViewer is the free version is much slower than the paid version. They probably do that deliberately. Wonder if I got the password right the first time. Oh no, it rebooted. I bet that's typical. My NUC rebooted. Rightio, let's see if I can do left screen transition. So this is my little computer down there, so I can open the Sunny Explorer. It probably rebooted because for about a week I was trying to do screen capture. Then I realized every time I logged in with TeamViewer, it left a thank you on the screen, and half of the Watch One toolkit couldn't be seen. Communicating. Does that get me in? And this is my grid tied system. I don't know if I open anything else with this poor little NUC, whether it absolutely kills it. Watch power. There we go. So the grid tie. Yes. And if you want to see anything else of my stuff, feel free to let me show you. There you go. We're doing 400 watts at the moment. You got the cloud, the trees from a couple of doors up. That one is ADMINISTRATOR. Enter. There you go. So the house is using. Come on, propagate the second inverter. The house is only using 379 watts at the moment, and we're in battery mode. But we're charging the batteries at 7 amps, so that's not bad. We're covering load and actually getting energy in. Inverter. Loading. Bluetooth is so yesterday. So we're doing about 2,000 watts. So we're probably heating hot water with about 1,500 watts at the moment. Yeah. We've done 2,500 kilowatt hours this year so far. Oh, there we go. So megawatt hours. Whatever. So that's this year to date. So January we did 887 kilowatt hours. 724 kilowatt hours, 716 kilowatt hours, and 272 kilowatt hours so far this month. Total, there we go. And that's how long I've had my grid tie inverter for. If in 2014, basically the entire year, I got up on the roof every weekend and washed the panels. I think that's why there's a little bit extra, but it's been nice and consistent for production since I had it installed, so I'm pretty impressed with that. 8,669 in the second year, or third year. 8.6, that's almost exactly the same. So there's not much degradation of the panels or the inverter so far, so pretty pleased with that outcome. Yeah, why is that saying that is 1.9 there, and that's only saying 800 watts there? Unless the sun's just kicked out and this hasn't caught up yet. Who knows? But there you go. That is the grid tied system. House is drawing 344 watts in battery mode. Shortly I'll change that over back to grid. Actually, I'll probably do that now so I can charge the batteries. So SBU is solar battery utility. Go back to utility. Apply. Okay, and now we are drawing from the grid. It should click over here in a minute. There we go, line mode. So you can see the little animation. The solar panels are going into the batteries, and the line is feeding the house. So ditch that. What are we charging with now? 15 amps. So that will not be such a bad thing. Bit of extra energy into the batteries. What do we got? Grid tie inverter, there we go. Hope that the smooth goat, I hope that answers that question in all too much detail. Chin ups for the chin, do you reckon that'll work? I don't think I could do chin ups. I dislocated my shoulder about 5 times, so I can't do too much with my left shoulder. Could do a low carb diet and not exercise as much. I would much prefer to eat just a block of chocolate each night and exercise more. I don't change my diet very much. I try and watch it a little bit and try and be conscious of what I'm eating, but I don't change it, so to speak. Like if I want to have half a loaf of bread for a Sunday morning breakfast, that's what I do. Eat bacon and lose the moves at the same time. Bacon. Hi, we've got Jason Turner from Doncaster, and apparently it's dark and cold. Welcome, Jason. Euros, not British pounds. Anyway, it's all maths to me. I'm not going to break away from. I'm going to break away from 86 bits and try 32650 LiPo for 7,000 milliamp hours. Any thoughts? Yes, I think I would like to try that, but I don't have any, so it makes it very difficult, Mark. So only one. I was going to Australian dollars at any rate, so I don't even know what the conversion is. VNC instead of TeamViewer. I have thought about VNC. There's lots of options. I could also just do remote desktop through Windows. But I got so used to using TeamViewer because I had a paid copy of it. I did lots. I build it out like $1.50 a minute or something for doing computers and stuff all around the place. And I even help a lot of you guys, a lot of people in the actual community. I use it to log in and help with their PIP setup and stuff like that. And less degree, and not at all anymore, the battery room help, because that's just not my job. I'm not very good at the battery room stuff, because even though I use it, I don't have a core understanding. The latest TeamViewer is slow even for paid use. Oh, that's interesting. My subscription only run out about a month ago. 2,100. I wasn't so far off. 600 cells, that's not bad. And then new cells too, so they're going to have a good lifespan, so you can't complain about that. DTEC, I had to change the Solar Bridge micro inverters to N-phase after 3 years. Solar Bridge, I've never even heard it, but I dare say the N-phase you'll never have to change again. There's some pretty solid units, aren't they? Titan Hasbula Espinola. Sorry, I bloody English, mate. Need a drink already. What else have we got? What anybody else want to see anything? Anybody else want like in-depth stuffs that I do or whatever? Feel free to ask. And I'd just like to say, I know Mike's not in the room at the moment, but a couple of years ago, Mike Nacco come from the States and you know did a holiday in Australia, and I bought a case of Pepsi for Mike because you know apparently he doesn't drink Coke in America. And in the last, like I get this 2 years ago, I think it was about 2 years ago he was here, and I still had half a case of Pepsi in the fridge, a little fridge down here, that I hadn't drunk, and because I was just giving away, and I started drinking it, and now all I drink is Pepsi Max instead of Coke. And I've drunk Coke for the last 25 bloody years. What's the deal with that, Mike? So that's all I drink is Pepsi now, and I think they changed the recipe of Coke too. For some reason, the flavour's just not the same anymore. Rightio. What else we got? My friend, I've got my first 6S 100p pack up and running, building my second now. Thanks for your YouTube videos. Thanks for tuning in, Dylan. It's always good to see and hear people evolving my original idea and building it better and cheaper and more cost effective. I think that's the same word as cheaper. Wayne Bennett, regarding the broken X6, it was me. You were pretty busy at the time. Wayne Bennett, X6 is still here. Get off your ass and come and visit me. I'll be here till about 11 o'clock this morning. You'll have to do the creative thing and work out where I live. Not that that takes more than 12 seconds to anybody that can use a keyboard. George, hello from Greece. And in fact, Wayne, if you get here in the next hour, you can sit on camera with me. Oh, no, it won't be the next hour. 9 o'clock-ish, I've got to run and open up the workshop. George, hello from Greece. Welcome, buddy. He's asking if anybody speaks Spanish. Well, clearly that's a no from me. Man, I didn't even pass English at school, let alone Spanish, or I think it was French or something we were supposed to learn at school. I wrote my name on the test and that was it. That's as much French as I cared to learn. There we go. Mr. Green's boat tanks and aluminium welding. What do you do for a job? I do this generally. Not YouTube, but I fix computers. So there's not much I can really show you. There's an Xbox One. That's a PS4 Slim. Everything else is sort of on this side of the actual shed, so you can't sort of see it. So I've sort of hidden stuff. But there's not too many jobs on either. So I'm a computer technician, and I have been self-employed as a computer technician for the last 17, 18 years, something like that, and been doing computers for 20 years. Yours, microinverters do not have a good track record no matter what brand. I really did think those Enphase were on the nuts guts when it come to microinverters. Okay, so Titan, I think it's Titan. I think that's how it's pronounced. Change. I can't read it, dude. I can't read it. Chris Chester, I'm alive. Apparently, I mean, allegedly, yesterday morning I didn't feel alive, but, you know, my wife was in a good mood. Transition back to that. Look out. Got to make that smaller so I can read it again. Pepsi meet up at Petter's. They wanted me to fork out $1,600 for a new 280 watt panel and the new micro inverters to control it. Why for one new panel? Falcon Heavy is going to take off in 30 minutes. Put it on the TV in the background. I haven't watched any of the takeoffs, very many anyway, since Spaceman went off into space. Pepsi Max Raspberry. That sounds, I'm sorry, this is where YouTube gets a little bit real. That sounds like shit. That sounds like it tastes like absolute crap. Is anybody good in the local area at fixing a 3D printer that just won't print? You're welcome to come and borrow it and get it running for me. It just, the hot end slips and it just clunks and grinds and whatever else. I used it. I put about 10 spools of thing through it, but it sat there for the last month not doing a thing. If you need a 3D printer and you're willing to help fix it, you're more than welcome to come and borrow it. Are you still using the original cell pack? How many have you changed out? A big smile. Yes, I have. If you ever see any of my videos, in my power shed, I've got a battery shed, which is just 30 kilowatt hours of batteries and nothing else. And in the power shed, I've got the 2 packs on the right when you walk in. The top pack is the very first pack I ever put in its an original form. Apart from that one, I'm 99% confident I haven't changed any cells in that one. I think I've taken one heater out, a Sanyo heater, out of one of those packs in the first. I just knocked it out and replaced it with a new one. But that whole pack is still in service. And it is a really strong pack. So if you look here, let's go back to this one and transition. No, gotta click that and go transition. We've got 14 cells from the end, so 43. So this cell here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to this cell here, is the first pack I ever installed and have ever used. Like, if you're keen to actually be really bored, go back and have a look at one of my first live feeds. It was a 4-hour live feed, and that's where I worked out that I got 4 kilowatt hours from that battery in 4 hours at 1000 watts, and I did that live on camera, on live feed. And then that night I left the lights and stuff running for 10 hours at 100 watts, and then got another kilowatt hour out of the battery. So that's how I always worked out that I have a 40 kilowatt hour battery, is because that very first test. And I've gotten lots better cells since then, but realistically I've only ever pulled like 38.5 kilowatt hours out of the battery, because at the bottom end they're just unbalanced. And you know, I might have cut a lot of corners when it comes to building the earlier packs, but I think the first pack I built right, and then all the other packs out there I tried to be a YouTuber, and everybody wanted a story, so I kept making up a story and just putting in cells that probably should never have had any place in a Powerwall. But yeah, so to answer that question, I've still got it, it's still running, and I'm resisting all urges to change it out. I was going to bring it up here and use it daily up here, but it's just not worth it. And then how many have I changed out? I think I've changed out 7 packs in total. And I think the person that's actually I gave them to, I actually gave away 7, so 520 cells, because they were all the lower quality, like they were under 2000 milliamp hour packs. I gave all them away to somebody because he was off grid, he had heaps of room and no money. So I thought that would be a good cause to give them away. And I also, I've also moved out. I don't know if anybody noticed, I haven't got my 160 cell packs here anymore. I've only got the 80 cell packs, AEP packs. And that is part of a larger video that I'm hopefully doing for my 50,000th, that's a tongue twister, subscriber. So that video type thing, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I've got lots of plans and no time or energy to do them. The best in the US is the kosher Coke, which is Coke only made from around the Passover, which is the old sugar recipe. Kosher Coke. I never heard of that. I should see if I can get someone to send me a can just to have a taste. But I reckon any soft drink. I don't think it's just Coke, but I reckon any soft drink around the world would taste different just because of the water quality that they used. I know they say they filter it and stuff, but do they really do a really good job, or is it, you know, who knows? Dylan, smiley face. Dylan, $900. I got 1,200 cells. That's a good deal. French, you went to two posh school people. Anyway, I'm not trying to read that. Flying wheels. Temperature of eddy when under load. Somebody asked me that the other day. Flying Willis, and I did a screen capture for him, but I never actually sent it, I don't think. It's about 40 degrees when the doors open and about 44 to 49 degrees when the doors shut. But I went to a lot of effort. I've got a few whirlybirds in my roof which sucks a lot of air out, and the way my power board is set up is on the south side of my house. It never, and I truly mean never, gets a drop of sunlight on it, so it's a very cool place to put it. And inside my box, I actually, with the Australian box, an Australian box that sits on the wall, the meter box, whatever you call it, it's got the little vents. So I cleaned the vents out, which were all very dusty, just with a toothbrush or something, but then got a screwdriver and very carefully just opened the vents up by an extra 1 or 2 millimeters. And then I went inside the box itself when the Sparky was actually installing everything, and we moved a whole heap of the cables around at the back, and it's almost like a chimney effect where it does get nice and warm inside my meter box with the eddy in there, but because the heat can rise up through the wall cavity and into the roof, it just thermal siphons through there, and it's not horrible. I think the worst I've ever seen was about 50 degrees on the heatsink temperature. And that was because when I first commissioned it, I think there's a thermal coating and stuff that needs to burn off, like, you know, you get that new electrical smell. That, and we were working it very hard for the video. We were so it was running 2,900 or 3,900 watts or whatever, 700 watts through it in bypass mode, and then we closed the door and checked temperature and got the thermal camera out, and it was fine. But then we went through and actually left the hot water on, and we did washing, and everyone had showers and stuff like that. So we think it was left running for 6 or 7 hours solid. I just kept boosting it, just trying to put it through at paces and see if I could fault find it or find something that would lead me to think that it wasn't a good product, I guess you'd say. I know. So I'm sorry. I am sorry to Evolution, but I had to do that test for myself. I didn't make that public or anything because there was no need to, because it passed everything with flying colours. Holy shit, that was a rock from the lawnmower across the school. Just hit my roof. Hope it didn't go through any of my panels. Yeah, so under load, Flying Willis, if you ever want any videos or updates on that, I can definitely do a video on that, because I was going to do an ROI on my eddy, and at the same time do a time lapse of it in operation throughout a whole day, just focusing on the screen, and probably flick through the temperature maybe once every 15 minutes while I was under load in the morning, so you can actually see that as well. So maybe that is a great video that I could do. How's the battery hasher going? Have you made much? The battery hasher is currently, and has been, not used for quite some time. I get it out every now and again, but the power supply is actually here. So, and for many months, this power supply was, so this is 48 volt. I got the charger up there, 1 kilowatt of panels on the roof. So this was running my 2 Opus chargers that you can't really see, and this 12 volt 1500 watt inverter, even though you couldn't pull 1500 watts through it because this maxes out at 60 amps. There's an LED light above, so it run the light. It ran the 3D printer when I was running it, and it run a lot of the Ryobi chargers and stuff like that. So the battery hasher, I just like this t-shirt. I got three of these t-shirts, and they fit really well, and they're really comfortable, and they haven't stretched out yet from my moves. So the battery hasher was a bad idea. It really, I mean, you can't make any money with mining at the moment, so I just don't even bother. My thing is, I have to be able to pay I have to be able to pay for the mining from the mining. I can't put it out of my own pocket, and it's just not worth it. That said, all the cards, like I've got a 580 in here, and then I've got a 580 in my data recovery computer, and I got a 580 in my son's computer, and I got one 580 still sitting over there. And the other one I think I gave away to one of my friends, or he bought off me because one of his rigs was missing one of them. So I've still got one left in a rig that I could turn on within the next 3 minutes, but it's just not worth the effort. I tried mining other coins and this and that, but it's just can't be bothered. I did cover all my costs though, Ellen. I did cover all my costs. I didn't lose any money. Okay, I will let you know if I need my computer fixed. Excellent, if you're local. I don't do too many on sites. It's mainly all here. You're going to watch Falcon Heavy, right? Probably not. So, Mark Andrews, sorry, I can't understand that. At Baronia Heights, oh there you go, so only just down the road. I'm in Forest Lake. I used to speak Spanish, but I lost it some time ago now. I think that happens, right? Where can I find cheap 18650 batteries? Definitely depends on where you are in the world, I guess. Tom from Battery Hookup, just type in Battery Hookup into Google and you'll find his website, and you can buy a whole heap of stuff from there, or you can ask me and I can give you a code so I make a cut of whatever you buy. I'm not too stressed about that. We're going to see you back on YouTube a bit more regularly. No, you're absolutely not. I'm going to be as irregular as I possibly can. I'm trying to make a video of my mountain biking. Actually, that's a really good question. If anybody has a GoPro, a modern GoPro that lives in my area that I can borrow for this weekend, I'd much appreciate it. Something with image stability so I can get down a hill. And maybe even a chest mount if you've got one. I brought a head mount accidentally rather than a chest mount, but I've got this thing, the SJ Cam, but it's just terrible going down the mountain. So I want to do some mountain bike videos, just to show what else I do with life, not just 18650 stuff. That's only a part of my life, I guess. If I was local, Pete, I could fix your Ender 3. I don't think it's going to take much to fix it. It's just I bought a new hot end for it, and I just haven't put that in yet because I don't know if it's that. But the main problem is I bought the aluminium, what do you call it, thingo, and it clunks. So when the motor turns, it slips constantly. So I don't know if it's not getting hot enough down here. Whether, yeah. I don't know. I don't know what it is. What you done to the printer? Time for a new hot end. I've gone through 2 in the last year. I'm figuring it is the hot end. Like I've replaced all the parts I can in there, but it's still, it's the tips. I do the tips all the time. I've got plenty of them, but it's still just, it's not reliable. I changed to that filament and it just went to shit for some reason. So I don't know. For the whole system change of only 10 watts extra power panel, 13 in total. Controller was $500 on Tinder Solar. Well, that's not so bad, I guess. Big smile, great. I've been around since the start. Awesome. Yeah, I had to go Sanyo cell leak test yesterday. It was a known crappy cell I've been experimenting on. I think I could do some good things with that microscope underneath with the cells and stuff like that. do you have any YouTube plans on any projects? Yeah, that I have got YouTube. Okay, so here we go. I want to try and share a lot more stuff. So I don't care what it is with YouTube. If I can help somebody, or I can show you what I do or what I earn, or any part of any YouTube thing that I've ever done, if you want help or a question answered or whatever, ask the question. I'll be more than happy to help out. I really want to try and be somebody that can be a part of the community and help the community. I do not want to be seen as a leader or as anything like that. I just want to be part of a member. So yeah, if I can help you with that, just ask. Transition. Hopefully I've got no porn in here. There we go. Now it gets demonetized. 7-2 morning. Missed your call yesterday. Is the reptile ready? Yes, it is ready. So I've got this one, White's Hot Water. Oh no, that was already done. I've already done that one. That was the other week. Where do I get my batteries from? That is one I've started to do, but it's I don't know. I started to do that one quite a long time ago, and then I stopped. Second Powerwall. I got scooters. I started doing a video on scooters, and then I stopped updating the scooter batteries. Welcome back, tubers. I thought that I would do a bit of a fun video, not really Powerwall related. Then I didn't do that. I got lots of projects that I start and don't stop. Off-gridder, I can't show you the off-gridder one yet, but I'm 20 gigs into that one. Snippies, mounts, iCharger XX, Ender 3 upgrade, Ender 3, Kutha Run, cell capacity, cell capacity is another one I'm working on. No, cell balance testing, that's another one I'm working on. That's in progress. 2-month update, another update. Yeah, so the Kutha Run, I really want to get that one sorted, but the video is just horrendous. The audio, I'm just going to turn the audio off. The audio is so bad. So this is running down the hill. Where's the audio? Got to turn that audio off. So this just rocks and rolls around, and it's not very clear, and it's fuzzy. Image stabilization just doesn't work. It just makes it even fuzzier and less clear. So I'm working on that as well. What else have we got? It's so much fun going down the mountain. It is just insane. See that? It's a really clear picture there. That's where I'm leaving. So this is a mountain we go up. So much fun. This pedal up this hill is killer. I literally almost die. I have to walk up this hill. It takes me so long to get up it. But going down the other side is definitely worth it. This is where I lose. Everyone just drops off because I don't want to watch this shit. But this is what I do these days. We're still going up the mountain. We're still going up the mountain 15 minutes later. I just want one downhill run. Come on, show me a downhill run. Rocket Frog. Look at that. That's so much effort to get up that little bit of a hill. I literally keep slipping with my feet. Yeah, people ride up of it. I can't ride up of it. I almost die. Actually, it could be argued that I do die. Here we go. This is the beginning of Rocket Frog. My favourite trail. Maybe that one. There we go. That's going. That's the one I wanted. That's going down the mountain. So like 25-30 minutes to get up and 6 or 7 minutes to get to the bottom. So much fun going through the trees. And this was only the second time I went down it. Every other time I've gone to go down it, the camera hasn't even worked. So I haven't got any footage, any good footage, or any footage, I guess, going down the mountain. So I want to make a good video of that. It's definitely exciting and gets the adrenaline pumping. Okay, back to me. Back to my ugly mug again. You've seen enough of that. I remember that. Geez, if you remember that live feed, D-Tech, you've been here for a while. I think like a maximum of 10 or 12 people were in that room. That was a long time ago. I found a paint that will lower the heat in your shed. It's a Japanese paint called Gaia paint. It reduces temperature in a shed by 6 degrees, and that's just the paint. That's pretty good. 6 degrees in here would bloody help, but we still got to deal with the 40-degree ambient temperature, which is a problem. I watched the 4-hour live feed. G'day, message retracted. How are you? Huge hub. Sorry, got to go back in the afternoon. Good to see you, buddy. Thank you very much for tuning in. Live from Belfast. Welcome, Colin. Do you know the time? Yep, know the time energy dilemma, Pete. It is well and truly there. I can't do by 9, but I'll definitely knock on your door by 10. That is fine. I'll still be here by 10, Wayne. Do you think your Batrium setup compares to what Jehu Garcia uses on his Powerwall? Jehu doesn't have a bloody working Powerwall. He just has batteries on the friggin' wall. Give me a break. You'd think after 2.5 years of him doing it, he'd actually have something that worked. But I like where he's going. He's trying different things with his power bricks, I think I'd call them. They're definitely not a Powerwall. They can't run his house. Well, they're not currently. So the Batrium kicks its ass in every setup, in every aspect. And Jehu's had a Batrium setup there as well. He had one there sitting a year ago. He had on his wall a couple of times when who was it? Vice was doing the piece on him. He had a Batrium set up on the wall up there. So, but I don't know. I think the community is still growing, and I think the community is still learning a lot of stuff. So as time passes, things will ebb and flow and change. But I love my Batrium gear. It's been flawless for me. It has never missed a beat. 1 second, I can see a problem. I can tell a problem. If I want to watch TV, I can turn it on and just watch it flicker away. Peach Coke in NZ, not too bad. No, you don't put things in Coke. You don't even put rum in Coke. Even rum in Coke destroys it. It's been 1.5 years without seeing my solar stuff. Barely touched the battery since then. Oh no, you've got to get onto it, dude. You were one of the first to buddy with your setup. Like, you're like literally one of the first. You had a setup running before I did, dude. Get on top of that. I know you've had some problems and moving around and stuff, but still. Lived a year in Italy, then haven't seen much about solar storage there, and they are all on grid. And now here in Ireland, I barely see solar panels. Is that probably because you barely see the sun? Holy, good morning. Go check out the gunshot. It wasn't a gunshot, it was a rocket in the roof. Sorry, got to go watch SpaceX. See you later. Falcon Heavy in 12 minutes. Cry out. Can somebody leave me a link? I should go and have a look. I might probably go and have a look at that later on. You can't. What have we got? Hey guys, Wilder. Welcome back, dude. Haven't seen you for a while. Where you been? What have you been up to? Wayne, can't get you to come here to Alaska to fix my computer. No wonder you're slow. Dude, I won't even go 20 k's up the road to fix the computer. I got this big ethical thing. If I'm driving for 20 minutes or even 20 kilometers up the road, I just don't do it. I'd rather them either bring it here or go to somewhere a lot closer, because you're going to pass 20 bloody computer technicians before you get to my house. It seems quite bad for the environment to drive further than you have to get something fixed. There is one of the head guys that died with his secret code for his Bitcoin, 200 million. Yeah, I heard something about that. I have 1,500 watt power on the roof and another 2,500 watt power laying around on a 4 kilometer. That's pretty good. Huge hub. I'm from United Kingdom. I need the cheapest battery as possible. I guess lead would be the cheapest. Lead's pretty cheap. There is one of the head guys that died. I'm from United Kingdom. Got that one. Do you measure your filament? Cheap stuff varies greatly. Sounds like the tension needs adjusting. I don't know, buddy. I haven't even looked at. I did play with it for a long time. I did try to. I did try to get it to work, and then I just simply gave up. The cheapest used laptop sales. Do not go with Alibaba. Don't go Alibaba. And the Alibaba ones probably are fake knockoffs. Probably. Wayne Hughes, could you help Adam Welsh? Could you help Adam Welsh say H Bridger correctly? Really, folks who watch his video pronounces the letter H funny. That will help. I probably can't help him, but yes, Adam Welsh, he's a clever man, that's for sure. Certainly cleverer than I am. Mr. Green's boats, tanks, aluminium welding. I'm doing electric quad using power tool batteries from Aldi and a treadmill motor. That sounds like fun. Are you local, Mr. Greens? I got those 2 scooters that I showed you before. I'm trying to get rid of, if you want it. Wayne Hughes. Now if I say or anything that live on camera, I'd probably get demonetized. So we'll just put it there, and I could do it. And it says something. Show us your something collection. Yeah, that's in another folder. Wait a minute. Don't we all stream that now? That doesn't get downloaded anymore. Where are we at? Where are we at? Who are we up to? I'm off to bed. Catch you on the next one. Chris Chester. See you later. Thank you very much for tuning in. Looks like a fun place. Do you camp there? Camping is big in my area. No, it's actually, well, it's 20 minutes away. It's Mount Cootha. So I live in Forest Lake, and that's spelt COO-THA. And there's no camping or anything there. It's just a nice park. If you go on the weekend, there can be, I've seen 100, 150 mountain bikes there on the weekend. It's a pretty cool place to actually be and to ride. So many other people, the shared, you know, if someone breaks down, you've always got someone to sort of offers a hand or, you know, whatever. It's a pretty good place to ride. Baronia Heights. Why don't people use commercial house batteries in motorhomes, RVs? Probably because of the vibration, I would say. I think a lead acid would probably handle the vibration a lot better than some of the lithium cells, and the way you've got to connect them, and the little fuses and stuff might vibrate loose or whatever. Well, that's the DIY stuff. Maybe there's a commercial, you could use a commercial solution. Maybe it's weight, maybe it's they don't need that much capacity. Maybe a little 5 kilowatt one would be good in a van. At least you got the depth of discharge, way better than the lead acid batteries. At least you admit you have. I don't admit anything. Welding LOL, that would keep the eye in the chat a bit. Better than bike videos. Good on yous. Hey Pete, let's talk self users. What do you use? So I use 0.2 millimeter nickel coated copper, I think, and I can't even show you because it's so small. If you go on to the forum and you refresh enough times, you will see an ad for it on the top right hand corner. That's the fuse wire that I've always used. I've never used anything else. I did do some tests on it, and it, like with my tests, in between 5 and 7 amps it blew. At about 3 amps it heated up and glowed, but it stayed, like if you left it at 3 amps it would glow, it wouldn't blow. It needed 5 to 7 amps to actually sort of go pop and actually work as a fuse rather than a fire hazard. Yeah, and I fuse every cell except for the 160 cell pack. So Ian Richards, I might have to be the first. Ian, I don't know what that is relating to. Oh, there we go. Commercial house batteries in motorway RVs. He definitely could. I think that'd be good. But I think a lot of people are using Nissan Leaf batteries. They're already mechanically strong. They're not too heavy, I guess, and they're readily accessible in most parts of the world. Might have to do the first. Okay, Pate, leave you to gonna go on. Leave you to the gang. Catch you later, buddy. Thanks, mate. See you later. I saw a vid of a guy. There's a guy doing RVs. Something Good Morning, RV Good Morning or something like that. I was following them for a long time, but as soon as they got away from doing the battery side of stuff in his van, I stopped. Well, I didn't stop following. I just lost interest in the actual project itself, because I was really keen on the time and effort that he put into installing the batteries and inverter, and the effort that he put into running cables and lights and air conditioner and all that sort of stuff. So that was pretty neat. But once he got back to, you know, woodwork and things like that, I lost interest. Yeah, that's it. Beginning from this morning. Yep, that's it. Well done. TW. What about Jehu? What's going on? He still doesn't like me, but that's fine. I still appreciate the work and the effort that he's put into the community. I can be the bigger man. How the heck did I catch up with the chat? Wayne, yeah, that's him. I'm guessing we're still talking about beginning this morning. Is my phone charged? My phone is charged. Let's plug that back in again. Hopefully soon we get the software for the M5 stack. And the M5 stack isn't turning on. Why didn't the M5 stack turn on? There we go. Now the M5 stack's turning on. Once you actually press the button correctly. Where would you recommend getting leaf batteries in Australia? Japan. America. There's not too many crashed leafs in Australia that I've ever seen, and I think the ones that actually come up are snapped up so fast you don't even get a chance. They don't even go on the public market. I have done the wrecker run all around Brisbane. I've rung every wrecker. I've Facebook messaged all of them asking for any electric cars that they get in. I'd like to buy an entire electric car just so I can pull it apart. A scrapped one. Big Boss, he's allowed to help. They're opening the gate. I got 15 minutes before I have to start work. And what I mean by start work is probably put my feet up on the bench and catch up with YouTube comments. Batteries in Australia. Same here. Lost interest once the battery was done. Don't go down the road with the bike videos. It's not a big bike check. I will definitely be doing bike videos. I've gotten over the fact that people hit the dislike button. The dislike button is a way of you guys letting me know how well or bad I'm doing, or whether you like the content or not. So I will definitely be doing bike videos on my channel, much like I was doing battery hasher and all that sort of stuff. But it won't be the bulk of the content. This DIY Powerwalls will still be my core business. So my kids have come outside to play. Love you, mate. Oh, geez, Tank the Hammer. I'm touched. I can't catch up with the bloody chat. How is this supposed to work if I catch up? Someone writes something stupid in there just to entertain me. Oh, we've gone back to 25 people. I started talking about bikes and look at it drop like a hammer. I might go, actually, you know what? Because the chat has completely stopped, I might actually go and watch this Falcon Heavy. We're going to put it on the big screen in the lounge room. Wait a minute. Pete, honestly, just about anything you put up is fun. Well, I'm not going to put that nerdy run I did the other night. That'd be not fun. Washington, D.C. area, referring to lithium in motorhomes. Would Batrium fare well with vibrations? Funny you asked that, Ian. Batrium started off for cars. In cars such as El Mofo, race cars, electric vehicles and stuff like that. It was designed from the get-go for headway cells. So if you look at the the Leaf Mons, there's Leaf Mons. Then they go Nissan Leaf batteries for electric cars. And I think there's another short one. I think it's like 1 inch long or something, and it's got an M8 bolt head on it. And that was to go directly onto the either the bigger format, like the I just said it. What do you call them? What the heck do you call them? Headway cells. So they are perfect for EVs and stuff like that. The Watchmon 1, that's where most of them were before Pete put them on to DIY Powerwalls. And then of course it started to evolve and grow and whatever else. What do you think about axial glass fuses? I've tried them. I bought a heap. I still have them. I still got a container full of them. I after Joe started doing it, I thought, oh, I'm going to copy Joe, and I bought a couple thousand. You know, I blew up a heap, and I tried to do videos on them, but I haven't really used them. I don't think they're not for me. They work, but they're not for me. So back. It's done. Too late. They landed the 3 cores. So there we go. Contact a generator to. You can get your cardio if it's cloudy. No, thank you. Finally, Maggie, a live chat. Look, there you go. There's Jaron from Batrium. Wayne Ho's Watch the Masters. Message retracted for $2. You paid $2 for message retracted. Oh, what did you do, dude? You don't have to retract anything. I didn't even see it. But thank you. I can't even see who it was. Watch the Masters. I can't even see who it is. Or was that Wayne? Did you put that up, buddy? The $2. Anyway, whoever did, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. Where are we up to? I keep changing screens. There we go. Welcome. I wish the price of Batrium would go down. Dylan, that's like saying I wish the price of milk would go down. It's hard to produce a good quality item and still have there's 2 ends of the stream. It's not Chinese rubbish. I want to thank you for your videos. Is it Felix? I learned a lot from you. Thanks very much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. If you haven't already, join the Facebook group, dude. There's a heap more smarter people than me out there that are doing lots of different things within the community. Or even the forum, DIY Powerwalls, or secondlifestorage.com. Kevin Kimball, yeah, Batrium is pretty expensive, but I think it's worth it. Absolutely, worth every cent. Headway versus leaf cells. It depends on your application, Ian. I've never used either, so it makes it very difficult for me to even put an opinion out there, but my basic opinion would be as long as you get something that fits your purpose. So when are you doing a DIY battery car? Okay, so a DIY battery car, let's talk about that whilst we are there. I have put some effort into looking for something where I can do an electric car. I wanted sign in. Why are you not signing in? That's just stupid. My thing just... Oh, the car's been sold. Oh. Ah, no, the car's been sold. Okay, so I was looking at a 2005 Mini Cooper. It's got 180,000 Ks on it. And I was also looking for a 1963 Mini, Morris Mini, but finances didn't go that far. That little Mini Cooper was only $5,000. Apparently you can buy them a lot cheaper. I was planning on gutting it out, selling the motor, selling everything that I didn't need. I got a price for $4,000 on the motor and controller and stuff from the EV place out at Springwood in Brisbane. Graham. It's about $4,000 for the motor and controller and stuff like that. So I was thinking about buying the car, driving it around for a year or something, getting some use out of the petrol motor, and then buying all the parts and getting Tom Amarin from Battery Hookup to send me some cells, and then build a car, get all the motor and stuff done without not using the car, I guess, and making use of it, and then try in a couple of weekends be able to do the entire build, I guess you'd say, so it's off the road for as short a time as possible, and I can actually it makes filming a lot easier when you can do it in a short period of time rather than dragging it out over an entire year or however long it'll take me. But I honestly think I'm not good enough at the engineering side of it and actually getting adapter plates and stuff designed or made. So we dialed back from that idea, and we're going to try and look for a kit. So work out whether we can just buy an adapter plate and all that sort of stuff already done. So all that we have to do is, instead of Pete building his DIY electric car, all that I do was assemble my DIY electric car. And of course, it goes without saying I'd use a battery management system on that if I possibly could, and get it set up. Probably not for range, but just for cool factor. Something I could take to shows and get within the community a bit more, especially the EV community, because I enjoy hanging out with that group of guys. They've got a lot to learn there, and it could be a potential fantastic new learning curve that I'd really get into. You know, there's one thing to learn something you don't want to know, but it's another thing to learn something you're actually invested in or enjoy. Ed, where can I get wall hangers? It was me. You can get wall hangers from me. Not that I have too many left. Ed, I might be able to sell you some if you want to buy some. Or you can just go to DIY secondlifestorage.com and then go to my if you have a look in the link below. My site has all the plans and heaps of photos and stuff of my wall mounts. All you can do is do what everyone else is doing and just use a server rack. It's much cheaper, and you get some recycling done at the same time. I'll get it once I get my solar. No need a BMS when I'm just as a backup power. You probably find you still need a bit, some sort of safety or battery management system or balancing or disconnect at the very least. Even if you're not using it very often. I mean, if it's sitting there on a float charge, you could cause problems and you not know it. Hope not me, LOL. Yup, how's the hot water going? Hot water is awesome, especially it's cooling off now, so the hot water is even better. I turned the boost off because we weren't actually... I put the boost on in the morning to keep the wife happy, right? But then then there was like 4 kilowatt hours that we were selling to the grid, so we'd make like 30 cents. 6 and 6 is 12, 24 cents for selling 4 kilowatt hours back to the grid. But I had to use $1 to heat that water earlier in the morning, so I just basically told her, if you want to shower, have a shower a little bit later, and for the next month or so we won't be bothered doing that. And I'll just take a hit. I just have a shorter shower at night time or something, so there is hot water in the morning if she wants it. I'll toss in $2 if he shuts. How is that not filtered out? Headways versus Leaf in a motorhome with bait trim. I would have to say Leaf Mons with the Leaf in a motorhome. Headways, you've got to sort of build your pack, whereas leaf cells, they're just all there. You just bolt them in. Usually when you buy the leaf cells, you get the bolts and stuff that leave them compressed. And it's bolted, isn't it? It's good voltage range for bigger inverters. But I guess it depends on how much money you've got, and finances and inverters and panels and all that sort of stuff. I guess in a motorhome, you wouldn't have much room for a great deal of solar either. So you'd have to keep an eye on that. Or if you're doing shore charging. There's lots of questions. What's your favourite solar charge controller? Dylan C. I haven't used very many. The PIP stuff, obviously, I've liked. I've used the PIP stuff for many years successfully. And the PCM60X is definitely my favourite, but that is not based on a very broad test subjects, I guess you'd say. So it's, I would like to go Victron Energy. If anybody saw my post the other day, I had the opportunity to stand in the Victron training room with a wall of exposed-ish cabling and stuff like that, and I was very impressed with the cable management, and even more impressed with the quality of the inverters and how much power they could put out, and the way they all sort of worked together. So that would be something I would be very keen on actually doing more, and I've been offered an opportunity to go out there and actually do some videos, so I can do some uploads on that, which I'm very keen to do. I've just got to get the videos that I've got in progress now completed. So yes, I paid 680 euros for a 7S starter kit with a shunt. Yes, that sounds about right. Do a VW van. I can't do a VW van. If I do a VW van, everyone will say I was copying Jehu. So I simply can't do a VW van, and I've never owned a VW, so it would be rather fake. However, I've owned a lot of minis over my short life, and I like the minis. My wife loves the minis, so it would be kind of cool. It would be, I'd love to own a nice classic mini again, but I've got to get, even like every 63 mini I looked at, 62, 63, 64, actually 63, 64, I looked at was quite expensive, like 20 grand. And I think if I, messed up one of them, the purists out there would probably get a little bit narky. So I'd have to find the right one, and I just can't find the right one. They're either rusted, they're either just complete rust buckets, or they want, 15, 20, 30 grand with a fancy paint job on them. And I don't want a fancy paint job. I want an honest, original paint type idea. Because obviously owning so many, I know they rust. They are rust buckets. So having original paint would give me some confidence. Also, I want that authenticity of an older car that can smoke the tyres all the way up the street, even if it can only do it for 10 k's before the battery goes flat. But I'll probably have to fill the entire. The plan is, if I did an early mini, it'd be underneath the back seat. I would cut out so I could actually put a leaf battery in underneath there, and I'd probably somehow do 18650 in the boot, so fill the entire boot up with batteries. Because obviously your two tanks go up either side in a mini. If you've got two tanks, you've got a right hand side tank as well. Get something with a blow-on motor, it would be super cheap. Yeah, I agree. But finding something with a blow-on motor and a good body and all that sort of stuff, I think actually buying something that's still running and driving, we can drive it around until I can get to a point where I do it. And there's good value in selling all the other parts, so it's hard. I'm just going to get started with 1860 cells on my pack. It's 100% off-grid. I have started to learn a lot from your vids, especially like the spot welder segment. Oh, there you go. Thank you very much. Spot welding is definitely the way to go, I think, moving forward. I was very staunch on the soldering, and I still stand behind my original thing with the soldering. It works. It still works. I mean, shit, I've been running for 2.5 years, and there's still no problems that I can personally see. But Who knows? Well, in 10 years' time, that's when the crunch time is going to come with these projects. What else we got? I'm building a Powerwall just like yours. I've got 2,000 cells. Holy heck! Where do you get 2,000 cells from, man? What are you going to run, Felix? Howdy, I'm off. Have a great one, Kevin. Thanks for tuning in. J Rock, hello to all, and Peter, welcome, J Rock. Ellen, my first car was a Leyland Mini wrecked car. Check out Project Binky. I am absolutely a fan of Project Binky. I was a fan of Project Binky. I was subscribed when they had under 100 subscribers for that. Because back in the day, that was one of the things I always looked at. All the Mini conversions, like all the Honda conversions into Minis and the big 1275 motors or 1380 motors, you know, with superchargers on them. And then, of course, Mighty Car Mods did their Mini, and there's a lot of other projects out there. So Project Binky, holy shit, talk about OCD. Those guys are on. Like, if I could meet Jehu or the boys from Project Binky, it'd be a tough call. It'd be tough. But it'd have to be even. And on that note, kids, I don't like just running away from a live feed, but I have got a customer walking in. So I am going to get out of here now, and then I'm going to chat to you later. You're going to be on cam, mate. Just if you give me 30 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to catch up with everyone later. If you like my live feeds, do that thing with the thumbs. If not, do that thing with the thumbs. Thank you very much for tuning in. I'm out of here. You're leaving. Talk to you later. Yes, I am leaving. Thanks very much, guys. I have to go. Catches. Stop stream.